Now, we go on to a game that's bad, boring, and a lack of heart, even though it's tennis. And that is game number 6, Power Surf 3D Tennis. And it's easily the worst game out of all the launch titles. Published by Ocean and developed by SPS. You compete in a tennis match, either singles or doubles, with a set of match from 1, 3, or 5. After that, you choose 3 different courses: dirt, grass, or hard. And also choose 8 characters, either for guys or for gals. Pick one and also pick another one for the CPU. And once you choose the player, you match your opponent, and whoever scores enough points wins the match. And that's the game. Yay. There is no development history about the game. But does it really I care about it? Well, not really. But instead, we'll talk about the publishers, Ocean Software. If you already know about them, good for you. But if many of you don't know who they are, well, I'll tell you right now. Ocean is a video game company who made games on home computers, like the Commodore 64 or the ZX Spectrum, or Z Spectrum if you're European. They're pretty much commonly known there in Europe, but for America, not so much. However, they're mostly known for publishing movie-based games for home consoles, like the NES, SNES, Game Boy, Genesis, and Game Gear. But most of them sucked really badly, and I'm thinking why North America knows about Ocean, because they only made not so good games, and this one I'm talking about is no exception. So, you can say that they made good games on home computers, but not so much on home consoles. The company only published, say, 4 or 5 games released in North America before they all of a sudden stopped publishing games for the system. Why? No reasons whatsoever. And for the developer who made this, I have no answer. But what I could tell that this is the first, but also their last game, because I don't know if they made any more games after that, unless if I'm wrong. But if I am, leave a comment down below. When it was released in Japan in August 11, 1995, North America in September 9, 1995, and Europe in February 9, 1996, it was a critical failure and received mixed to negative reviews. Next Generation magazine reviewed the PlayStation version and said, "Unfortunately, it's not the best playing tennis game ever. Only a few camera angles are workable, and some are, in fact, totally ridiculous. Beyond that, the action is sluggish and play controls are far from intuitive. With time, it can be rewarding, but it does take practice." But even with that, it's still not fun, not enjoyable, and not evenly decent for a tennis game. But only the one thing that was praised are the graphics. But overall, that's it. Okay, let's just go straight on to the review part. The graphics are the only thing I could say fairly positive about. And the frame rate kind of feels like moving in 60 frames per second. Well, most of it anyways. The presentation, I have nothing to say about it, cause there's really nothing interesting to say about it. The music is sort of a oddball, because really, I can't say what the game is trying to make you feel about. Sometimes it goes cartoony, while others go for serious. But with that, it's a very bizarre soundtrack, and not a good one. And lastly, the gameplay. It's shit. I really mean it. This is one of the most boring games I ever played. Okay, a few times I sort of enjoyed, but that's not saying much. The only rather decent thing I sort of laughed is the camera selections. And let me tell you, it has quite the many different shots. Like, here are some examples. There's this angle, then the other one, then there's a first-person view, and last but not least, the 360 angle. That's right, this isn't a replay mode, this is an actual camera angle when I'm playing the game. Just why? Who in the frickin' mind ever decided to put this as a camera angle? I mean, it's just plain ridiculous. I mean, who would ever want to play an entire game using this angle? Unless if you dare someone to do it. Overall, the game is just bleh. But for some reason has a little bit of a humor to it. Now going straight into the conclusion, it's just boring. Yeah, I keep saying boring a lot, but that's what it is. A boring game. Even though I did like two things, that is, the graphics and the many different camera controls. But overall, that's all the good things I could say about this game. Even for a tennis game, it still manages to be boring. If you actually wanted to play a good tennis game, then I recommend the Mario Tennis games. Trust me, they're much more fun and enjoyable than this piece of shovelware title. And that's what it is, a shovelware game that was forgotten and never heard from it ever again. And seriously, it's for the best. I don't recommend buying it. I give my official rating a 2 out of 6. Next time on the PlayStation Years, I'll be tackling two games formed in a compilation game that's based on the 90s vertically scrolling shooter arcade games of the same name. What is that game? Well, I'll tell you in the next review. Thanks for watching.